1, 2, 3, audio test.
Hi, this is CB Radio Magazine, and yeah, I can't help myself, guys. I bought another radio. This old boy set me back $20 at a garage sale. This is a Pearce Simpson Bengal SSB 23 channel AM and single sideband radio. This would have been from around the mid-70s, around 1975. These would have been $300, $400 brand new, depending on where you bought it. And this caught my eye because it had something about it. It's a little different, and I'll go into that in a minute. These were advertised back in the day as a dual conversion receiver, low noise, RF stage, Slido tune, and they were a 4-watt radio with 12-watt single sideband. They made a whole series of mobile radios and base radios and stuff, and this one is, like I said, a little interesting because it has this box up top, and this is a Channel Selector II, which these actually used to be a little more, I haven't seen one in a long time, but used to see these around, and I'll get into that in a minute. First, let's go through the radio. So you got a nice front firing speaker over here. Sometimes these old radios with these old speakers, they sound really good, especially when you're listening to AM, and sometimes single sideband just a little richer than some of the newer radios. So nice speaker there. It's got your big old headphone jack over here. It's got a 3-pin microphone jack. Now, this didn't come with a microphone. Maybe that's why it was $20. But I don't even have a 3-pin connector out. I looked through all of I got like hundreds here. I didn't even have a 3-pin anymore because I haven't had a 3-pin radio in a long time to wire something up to. So I'll probably have to pick one up. Yeah, kind of interesting on that. You don't see a whole lot of those. It had, and even some of the other Pearce Simpson, I should say, you didn't use 3 pins. They used 4 pins. So, there was only some of these that actually used a 3-pin. PA CB switch here, has a noise blanker on off here, mic gain on the inside, RF gain on the outside, volume control here on the inside, squelch on the outside. This is also your on off switch. Over here we got your Slido tune. So the Slido tune on this radio would, from the factory, allow you to tune the frequency for both the transmit and receive. And that used to be the way on some of the old radios. They changed that, with the late 70s. That was kind of a different story. But on the original one, some of these had, this is actually a one-piece, it looks like a dual, knob setup there. That's actually a one-piece knob, which is kind of interesting as well. Meter up here, it's got silver backing inside, which is kind of cool. You don't see a whole lot of that. It's got a light in here. The light actually changes color when you transmit. I'll do that for you in a minute. SRF switch here, got a meter switch and a modulation switch on this. So it's a 3-position on the meter here. AM, upper sideband, lower sideband switch. Now this isn't your typical knob. It's kind of a flip switch here, kind of interesting. And we got something here. This is not stock. Somebody added this. It was a little position switch in here, probably to get some extra frequencies at the time. And over here we've got your channel changing selector knob. Now, the lights in this is very dim. There's a bulb in here, and it's not quite aimed in at the right angle, I guess, to light this up. So it's pretty dim. Now, a lot of radios that had this kind of setup on these old rotary knobs, they always were hard to read. I mean, I had, the Couriers, some of the old Spartans and stuff were a little difficult to read as well. But yeah, we can probably wire in an LED and aim it right in there and brighten that up as well. So anyway, cool radio. It's got the old fake wood trim on it and all that. But let's talk a little bit about this channel selector. So this channel selector is a little box here, as you can see. It's got just a wire coming out of the back of it, and the wire goes down and around and is soldered onto the radio on the bottom, and I'll show you where that is and what that looks like. And there's a 12-position switch on this guy. And what these are is it's a little box with some crystals in it, basically, so X-Tiles in it, so you can adjust your frequencies to get more than the 23 channel frequency. So you turned your 23 channel radio into whatever, more channels, frequencies. So you can get, 38 lower sideband, you can go up to 27,555 depending on what you put inside. So let me take the cover off and I'll show you what this looks like inside. When we take the cover off of this, you'll see it's a pretty simple layout, and basically just has your selector coming in here, and all these wires run to the different positions, and there's different frequencies set in each one of these. Represents basically a different frequency for mixing, and you could change these out, put different ones in. The way that this kind of wires in, has single wire goes into the bottom. And on the radio, what it does is channels 1 through 4, when this is in the 1 position, you get channels 1 through 4. But if you're on channel 1 and you switch this to any of the other positions through here, it mixes it with these and you get a different frequency. So for instance, if I go to channel 3 on the radio and put this in the 4 position, I get channel 38. So really interesting way to be able to add extra frequencies into your radio. Single wire, you know, comes out, connects on the bottom. I'll show you where that is. So as I said, it's pretty simple on this modification. Just this wire, single wire comes in. Someone drilled a little hole through the bottom of the radio. Comes in. One wire goes here. One wire goes there. And there you go. That's it. Well, just want to show you guys a little bit of DX here. So I've got the radio on channel 3. Remember, this is a 23 channel radio. And I've got the channel selector with the extra crystals in there on channel 4. And I'm on AM. I'll just bridge the pins here just to show you transmit on AM. And we'll see on the frequency counter we're on 27.3853 on the transmit. So a little bit off there on AM. But yeah, so this radio is transmitting on channel 38. And if we switch over to lower sideband, we should hear some traffic out there. Let me turn up the volume a little bit for you.
5936, roger on that, my friend. Yep, you're right about a 9 to 11 over on this side over here, too. Sounding loud and proud, man.
And you can see there's definitely a little water corrosion damage here, but radio's still working. Got our tag on the back, made in Japan, serial number 602856, Pearce Simpson, Division of Gliding Corporation, Miami, Florida, USA, and 4 watts, single sideband output, 12 watts. Got your antenna jack here, external speaker jack, PA speaker jack, 12 volt DC connection if you wanted to run it on 12 volts. Got your fuse and your AC connector. I've zoomed in on the meter with the silver backing on it so I can show you the color change. So when you key up on this, it goes to red. So that's kind of cool. So here's the rotary knob, and on this one in particular it shows the little light, and it only lights up the number that you're seeing. It's pretty dim, as I mentioned on this one, so a little work to be done there. But on a lot of other radios it would actually be, the light would light up whatever one you were located on, but you can still see the rest of the numbers. So this one's a little unique in that you can't see any of the numbers except for the one that's illuminated. This is the inside of the radio with the cover removed, and power supply is here in the back, and front panel is here. And this is our board, much like other radios, just a mobile radio basically placed inside a larger case. Got your X-Towels up here, crystals with trimmers. You have a relay back here, your transistors located. They're mounted flat down, which is a little interesting compared to how other radios usually had them onto the back side. 2 adjustment points in this that I will show you. I looked it up. They were listed as VR17 for your AM adjustment for your AM carrier, and VR16 for single sideband. And I'll show you where those are. So this might be a little hard to see, but this is towards the back of the radio, and I'll try not to cause too much shadows. The adjustment pots in these, they're vertical. So most radios that we're used to seeing, I know you guys have seen lots of the videos with them, but they're flat, so they're face down. These ones are vertical, so they're mounted up, so you have to kind of come in a side, and they have a slit in them for adjustment. So over here there's a cap, and then you can see right here is VR17, and that's your AM carrier adjustment, and it's right towards the back of the radio here. Your single sideband adjustment says it's VR16 online, so that is going to be right here, and again it's a vertical pot adjustment, so kind of hard to show it because it's vertical, but anyway, it's going to be right in this location towards the back of the radio, back right corner. Well, there you go. That's the Bengal SSB 23 channel radio, and you know, guys are paying big money for some of these classic radios on eBay these days. Honestly, to me, it was a $20 radio. It's kind of worth 20 bucks to me, but you know, just it's worth whatever someone will pay for them. This one's not in fantastic shape, needs a little bit of work. Not sure if I'm gonna go through the trouble or let someone else do that, but you know, the channel selector to me probably is worth at least as much as the radio, because these are kind of interesting little boxes. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. CB Radio Magazine. Take care.